All good, Chris. Go ahead.
Thanks. Welcome, everybody. This is the April 26th, 2021 Board of Portage Park District Commissioners regular monthly meeting. We are meeting by Zoom with a live YouTube stream. My name is Christine Craycroft. I'm the Executive Director, and we will turn it over to Scott McKinney, the Chair of the Board.
Good evening, Chris. Good evening, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. And could we have a roll call, please, Rory?
Commissioner McKinney?
Here.
Commissioner Hurdy?
Present.
Commissioner Engelhardt?
Here.
And we're just waiting for Commissioner Arshan to arrive.
Thank you. Any public comment received for today's meeting?
We did not receive any.
Thank you. Did everyone have the opportunity to review the March 22nd minutes?
Yes, I did. I didn't see any problem with them.
I did as well. So I'll
Great.
move the.
Can I have a, thank you.
And I'll take the second on that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes are approved. Financial statement presentation. I know this came out a little bit late. Did everybody have a chance to review it?
I was able to look it over.
Great. The one question I had for Chris is that the total revenues and carryover is listed at 48%, and I asked just to clarify and I guess to confirm that that's because of our cash carryover is included in that percentage. So we haven't received tax revenue yet this year. So that's why that's so high. Any other questions or comments on this document?
Not for
All
me.
right,
I don't have any.
great. Could I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve the March. I can't see the top of it, but to approve the March budget items here.
And this is Chuck. I'll second it.
Awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
I
that is approved.
have a quick question. Do we need to do a roll call vote or just asking?
You know, that's a good question. Rory, did you hear the votes from everyone on that?
I did. On the minutes and the financial statement, I don't think we need to do a roll call.
Okay, thank you. Again, I know Fallon was here. He'd help us with the procedures.
For sure. All right, Executive Director update. Chris, any comments based on the update that you sent out to us?
Just that we've got multiple projects in the works right now. I want to note under the top section there, we did not get the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant that we had applied for. It was a big ask. I think it was upwards of $500,000 for the shelter that we had requested. But we did meet up with our engineer, Chris Bednar, to start off the project for sort of a plan B for that group picnic area. It would be doing the site work and making it accessible. Craig's already got a few picnic tables up there. So yeah, we're gonna proceed with something there.
Is that the raised area by the construction entrance? I was trying to figure that out the other night when I was out there.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you saw the picnic table sort of up on the hill.
Yep, I think that's great. One nice vantage point there.
Yeah, it really is, and yet it provides some separation and a little bit of privacy, if you will, from the crowds.
Yeah.
Bob and his crew have been busy with the help of lots of volunteers in kicking off the tree planting. I think we're going to be down for about 15,000 trees in over 30 acres this year. It's, you know, it's going to really transform the area. It's needed. Part of it is what we've committed to with our grant management plans, and in fact, using some grant funds for that. So that's a nice project. The Portage Park District Foundation has committed the $30,000, as you know, towards that project, and they're going to be promoting that through the Environmental Conservation Awards event. So that's going to happen at the end of August, and that the proceeds of that event are going to go to the reforestation. And I'm not sure if everybody's aware, but we've agreed to host that at our operations center this year as a sort of a departure due to COVID and the desire to, you know, have a more casual outdoor focused event. You know, we're looking at the possibility of using the equipment building as, you know, with the doors open for part of it. So plans are still in the works, but you know, they wanted to be able to show off the new operations center there in Morgan Park and some of the plans we have for the future.
Great.
That'd be great.
I think is there anything else anybody has questions on?
Not really. I guess the body camera policy, is that something that will come to us for approval?
Yes, yeah. Zach can address that if you want, but basically we've, you know, been looking, Zach's been doing some research at other models that are out there. And once, you know, he and I review it, it'll go to the prosecutor's office for review, and then you guys can adopt it, you know, review and adopt it.
Okay, great. And I guess, Chris, if in the process of that, you know, I'm pretty well versed in our budget and park operations, but I feel less well versed in law enforcement. So if when that comes to us, Zach or you can be prepared to give us a primer on best practices in that area and why the policy is drafted as it is, I think that would be helpful to me.
Sure, absolutely. Zach, anything you want to say on that?
No, I think you said everything, Chris. Getting together, we got some model policies that we're following, Cleveland and Summit. So I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, great. Well, if any other questions or comments for Chris?
I don't have any.
I'm good. This is Chuck.
Okay, so we'll move on to other information. It doesn't look like we have anything under item 6. Is that correct, Chris?
That's correct. I do want to make you aware that the Portage County Regional Planning Commission is updating their subdivision regulations. This has been a project that's been in the works for quite a while. I was involved more a few years ago with it. You know, Alan might have more to say about it being a member of the commission, but this is the document that guides subdivision development in Portage County. And there are different criteria for different size developments. One of the changes that is in this draft, and this would have to be adopted by the county commissioners, is the inclusion of an in lieu fee option for open space set aside, as well as a different sliding scale for open space set aside. Right now, if a subdivision comes in, there's a 5%, you know, base of open space set aside. But if this new version includes a provision that if you've got a very dense subdivision where the lots are smaller, then the smaller the lots, it kicks it up to a higher percentage, up to 10%, depending on how high how dense it is and how small the lots are. So the upshot of that is that, we're going to have some more opportunity for parks and open space. It's not a huge amount. And even with the in lieu fee option, which is great, and the developers, I think, embrace that. The idea is that instead of setting the open space aside within the subdivision, that you can instead basically write a check and put that into a fund where the funds could be pooled and then used on a targeted project. So, it's an opportunity for us to perhaps partner more with the townships on these funds that might be coming their way.
And Chris, this is
So-
talking, it could be favorable, obviously from the park standpoint, but I'm just curious as to, and maybe maybe you don't know. I mean, does that kind of take away from the whole like planned unit development concept where these developments are going in to try to, protect and preserve some of the more sensitive areas on that particular property? Or
No, actually, it's a complement to it. The subdivision regs, still encourage that kind of planned unit conservation development where, you might cluster the lots and then, preserve at least 30% of the open space. And there are other provisions for setbacks for sensitive areas and review as well. There's more review at the early stages to help to guide the developer and the designer to stay away from those steep slopes, wetlands, different kinds of soils. So no, I think that option is still there for conservation development. This is just it's just an added option for the developers.
when you say option, obviously it needs to be approved by the commissioners and stuff, but is it, how does it become an option? I mean, would it be something mandated on them if it's approved, or when you say option, what would the other options be?
I could send you all the link to their website. They've got the full subdivision regs there, which is what the county commissioners would be approving, just sort of the full revised document, which is several chapters. The section, I think it's just chapter 4 that refers to the open space and the in lieu fee option and so on. So in that case, it's the Portage County Regional Planning Commission who approves the plats. And I believe the engineer and the health district, water resources, I'm not sure if there's anybody else, soil and water is involved with the review. So all of those agencies have to sign off on it as well as it goes through the review process.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Who ultimately owns those parks? Is it the townships once they're all handed over as open space?
There's a couple options. One is it could be owned and maintained by the homeowners association. And really that's sort of been the default option, which, it could be fine, could be great. One of the concerns is that homeowners associations might not always last, or they might be inactive and might not have the capacity or the knowledge to manage some of those areas as they should be. So there is the option, and I believe this is just a case-by-case basis where, the developer could offer the open space to the township, could offer it to the park district, could offer it to, another entity to own and operate for public use, but that would, the receiving entity would have to agree to that, would have to approve it. So yeah, in some cases it might be the township. It might be that the monies are in lieu of monies are pooled by the township to create a township park somewhere nearby. But yeah, otherwise it's really something that's the default is to just have the homeowners association own it or have the developer still own it.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments for Chris?
I'm
No.
good, thank you.
Okay, thanks for that update, Chris.
Sure.
Let's move to item 7, old business, which is awarding of a contract for Towner's Woods Architectural Services. So I looked at this, and the proposed architect looks very well qualified with a lot of experience in area parks, park districts specifically, many that I've been to and I'm familiar with. So I'm comfortable with this proposal. Does anybody else have any questions or comments about this resolution?
No, I looked in at the same documentation. They look like a great firm.
Yeah, I would agree. I've had some exposure to them as well prior, so I'm good.
Very good. Can I have a motion to approve this resolution then?
I'd like to make the motion of award of the contract for the Towner's Woods Architectural Services, Resolution 2021.
And this is Chuck. I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a roll call vote, Rory?
Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner McKinney,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelhardt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, resolution passes. We are on to the March 2021 expenditures. Any questions or comments on this resolution? Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to approve?
This is Chuck. I'll move to approve the March of 2021 expenditures.
And I'll look to second that motion. This is Tom.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner McKinney,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelhardt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the resolution carries, and that is now item B, 8B, which is approve the acceptance of donations. We voted last month on this to be approved by the probate court, which they have now approved. So now we have to accept what we asked them to accept. So is that right, Chris? I got that order right?
Got that right, yes.
All right. So could I have a motion to approve these donations?
This
Sure.
is Chuck. I'll move to approve.
And I'll look to second that.
All right, Rory, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner McKinney,
Yes.
Commissioner Engelhardt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that resolution passes. And executive session. Chris, is there a need for executive session this evening?
No.
Okay, does anybody else have any business for the board this evening?
This is Chuck. Maybe just an update on the headwaters trail, the extension going up toward Mennonite. It's just kind of an update on that status wise.
Sure. I'll give it a stab and then Craig can chime in. They've removed the trees, so they got the trees down that needed to be taken down within the window for the bats. So that's done. They had temporarily moved some guardrail, and that's been reinstalled. And the county engineer seems to be pleased with the design. We'd made some tweaks to the design based on the engineer's comments. We had initially included a crosswalk with a flashing beacon to cross from one side of the trail side of Mennonite Road to the other side, sort of in anticipation of the trail continuing up Manaway Center Road. But the county engineer wasn't ready for us to proceed with that and preferred that we added that on to a future development section. So we've amended that. you know, just a few minor changes to the alignment with the trail, but otherwise, Craig, do you have any idea when they're going to be back out on site?
No, what they would have to do next, yes, the trees have been removed, and so they want to come in next and they want to mulch or grind up all of those trees. Those trees are now laying on the piles of debris that had been dumped back there over, you know, a period of time. So they'll come in, they want to grind those trees. I don't have the schedule for that yet. Once those get ground up and removed, then they'll come in and haul out that rubbish. And I would presume, I would see the pending approval on those design changes would be ready by then, and then they would proceed with starting at that entrance, at the guardrail entrance, to construct that trail. So that's the process that I have. You know, the timing on that, I don't have a time on that grinding. And yeah, that's what I know right now. I don't think it would take a long time to haul that rubbish out of there, but they do need to get that out to see what's below it. So that's what I can add.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah.
Any other questions or business for the board?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
This is Tom. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
And this is Chuck. I'll second.
Okay, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.